Now the dust has settled after Manchester United's 2-1 loss to Brighton. I guess I'm trying to make sense of everything that went wrong in those 90 minutes. Now, the biggest standout for me, if we start with the positives, of course, is the way that Manchester United looked in build-up and out of possession in the first half. Now, some people are attributing that to Mason Mount's involvement in the game, and of course we saw him come off in the first half, but it does seem like when Manchester United do concede a goal, there isn't a shift in mentality, similar to the problem that Man United had last season, where heads drop, shoulders drop, and all belief is gone that Manchester United can come back. Of course, Welbeck puts the ball in the back of the net from a chance that should never have really landed to him in the first place. João Pedro plays in a non-threatening ball as it glides past Harry Maguire. No communication between Mazraoui, Maguire and Andre Onana. It lands to Matoma, who eventually just drills the ball back across the box, and Danny Welbeck, unmarked in between both centre-backs, puts the ball into the back of the net for his 100th goal in his campaign, or in his career in the Premier League. I mean, it's very fitting that it came up against Manchester United. But the biggest question marks, I would say, was on the second goal that Manchester United conceded. Now, it seems like Manchester United are in two ways right now, under Erik ten Hag and under this philosophy or style of play that he's trying to create. Are Manchester United going for a possession-dominant style of football? Are they going for a counter-attack, hit them as soon as possible when you can? And it does seem like Man United were in that mind state when they conceded the goal. Now, let's take it back to the goal. It's a set piece that's dealt with, and immediately Casemiro runs out. It looks like he's going straight to hit the ground running, put on the speed boosters, if you want to call it that, and try and get out. However, the rest of Manchester United's team do not reset, and that's the biggest issue, I would say, over the last 12-24 months for Manchester United when it comes from defending set pieces. Something that United have struggled with for a long time. It's resetting the structure as soon as Manchester United deal with the set piece. United get the ball out with a header. Casemiro puts the burners on and tries to hit on a counter, despite the fact that United are not in possession at that point. And Brighton comfortably recycle the ball and find it in Adingra's possession. Now, this is the most interesting part because everybody is obviously focused on three guys, including João Pedro, the goal scorer, unmarked in heaps of space at the back post. But for me, what stood out the most is that 50% of the outfield players are surrounding Adingra at that point. You got Mazraoui, you got De Ligt, you got Dalot, you've got 5 or so players surrounding Adingra, and yet he still manages to have enough time. He had a few seconds to find himself, look up, see João Pedro with his hand in the air, waving down for the ball to come to him, and he puts the ball inch perfect onto João Pedro's head to put it away. Now, Manchester United's biggest issue, like I said, is of course 3 players unmarked back post, but other problems are very evident from that, and it's how Manchester United defend in set pieces. Not restarting properly will allow the opponent in particular to be comfortable, to be patient, and to be able to recycle the ball and get it back into a threatening place. We've seen it so many times last season, and it seems like it's still a problem there. Now, Manchester United have hired a set-piece coach, so hopefully he can wind this out of the team. If we talk about Mason Mount's involvement in the game in particular, out of possession, he was so important. But the question that I have, and please let me know in the comment section below, how much more can Manchester United risk having a player who's so good out of possession at the expense of not having a centre forward on the pitch? Another issue for me is in build-up for Manchester United in particular. They look like they're playing and consistently will keep playing in this 3-1-6. The 3 centre-backs, a lone 6, and 6 people on the final line of the opponent. Is that really feasible when no one's making run-ins behind you? Ain't got a centre-forward target up there. And Manchester United get the ball into the final third and create a chance, or try to create a chance that is non-threatening, or they don't have the right people to put it into the back of the net. Manchester United have already created a lot of chances, and I think at this point of the season have missed the most big chances thus far. Of course, a lot of that is skewed data because a lot of that is coming from that fixture against Fulham, where Bruno missed quite a few chances, as well as did Rashford, etc, etc. 3-1-6 that Erik ten Hag is so adamant on playing, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Why? Because it leaves the midfield vacated again. Kobbie Mainoo in particular in this screenshot you can see is the lone midfielder. You can see everybody else is pushed up onto that final line of the opponent, and it's so easy to get hit with a counter attack because if the opponent counters, and we saw Brighton had quite a few counters yesterday. They just could not make anything of it. But when they do hit on a counter, more times than not, they will have an equal number of players on the counter as Manchester United do have defenders. That's not a good thing. Now, is there positives? 100%. Manchester United do not look like the exact same team as last season, and it's going to take some time to gel. But games like this is so much more obvious to me that Manchester United's starting 11 need a lot more fluidity, a lot more collaboration, and there needs to be communication between them. You can see between Maguire and Martinez, it looked like there was no communication. You can see between Dalot and Mazraoui, both of them on the right-hand side, trying to mark a Dingra from that set piece. There's no communication. Manchester United players need to talk to each other, and most importantly, they need to take their chances. Let me know what you guys thought about the game against Brighton, where Manchester United lost 2-1. And obviously, it's the final week of the transfer window and Liverpool ahead. Make sure you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And if you're new here, welcome to the community.